Hi, I'm Wasim Bashir. Welcome to the first video of my step-by-step online business setup series. This series will walk you through everything you need to set up your business online, from picking the right brand name to building your website, writing copy with AI, and finally improving your SEO. In today's video, we'll start with one of the most crucial steps, finding a brand name for your business. One of the hardest parts of starting a business online is choosing the right name. Sometimes the perfect name just comes to you, other times it can take days, weeks, even months. There's no perfect formula, but I've learned a few things. Your brand name should be easy to pronounce, easy to remember, and connected to what you're offering. I'll show you how I came up with a unique brand name and found the perfect domain, even when most names were already taken. I'll walk you through exactly what I did using various tools and a few clever tricks, so you can stop guessing and start building a brand that stands out. Let's dive in. One of the most difficult things which I have experienced is finding a great brand name, because either you can get it straight to you, or in a way that if you're thinking about to create one, it might take a day, it might take a week, it might take a month. So there's no right or wrong answer. The reality is you have to come up with something which I think should be easy to pronounce, easy to remember, and should have some kind of a link to the thing which you're doing. In my experience, I've always looked at few tools, obviously, to help me, and one of them is domainr.com. So domainr.com helps me to find a .com, because for me personally, I prefer having domain names with a .com because it establishes authority, and if you're starting brand new and if you don't have a .com, that means somebody has already taken that space, which will be harder to rank for, because if somebody's already got a .com and maybe some other handles for that particular name, it will be hard for you to come up with a name exactly like theirs, but with a different TLD, as in it could be .io, for example. So I would come here and just experiment. So for example, the brand which I'm thinking about should be focused on conversion web design. So I would probably come here and type the word conversion, and I can see here, obviously these words are already taken. So conversion.com is taken, and these are probably like proper websites by now, because if I click visit site, it takes me obviously to a website which it's a full-blown agency, so we can't really use this name anymore. So the chances are you'll have to either go to ChatGPT and ask it a question, can you give me like a brand name for a convergent web design agency which one I'm trying to build, and see what ChatGPT comes up with. But ChatGPT won't be able to do a good job finding a .com for you. So I would suggest try some ideas from there, from ChatGPT. Come to domainr.com, type in that keyword or type in that name in here and try to find a .com. So when I was looking for this particular brand name, I started doing a lot of experimentation with domainr, but I stumbled because I couldn't come to a name which was easy to pronounce and kind of makes sense, because most of the names which I found, they were already taken. So the next option I looked at was this website called expireddomains.net. So expired domains shows you all the domains which have recently expired. That means you can then re-register them and own them, because let's imagine somebody had this domain until yesterday, 7 p.m., and they didn't renew it for some reason or the other, and now it's available again, and you can go through this list and see, is there something which kind of is useful or meaningful to your brand or to what you're building. Obviously, this is a huge list. As you can see, there's about 300,000 or 3 million records here. There's about 123 based on the filter I applied. So you need to ensure that once you sign up to, this is a free tool, by the way, you can sign up for free. And then when you click on the show filter, you will see there's a lot of ways you can filter this result. And personally, I wanted to obviously avoid adult names, and I wanted to have a .com. So I clicked deleted.com in the first instance. And then I started this whole premise with the word CONV, because conversion is something which I want to work with, the word conversion. And I then started looking for different words which are starting with CONV. So, for example, Conversify is a really good one. ConvertQ or Convo Cards. So, looking at this list, I stumbled upon a name which was quite nice in a way, which I liked because it was relevant to what I was building, but it still was not the best. As in, I did register it. It's called conversivedesign.com. So it actually spells like conversivedesign.com, and I actually purchased this domain. And the word conversive actually means something meaningful in a way that it means capable of being converted or changed. So yes, so in this web design agency, we are planning to build websites which will be capable of converting people in a way. So the word conversive is somewhat related to that brand. But the issue I had was, although the word conversivedesign.com was good, unfortunately, conversive on its own was already taken. So the word conversive.com was registered, and there's a website on .com.io. Yeah, most of the things are already taken. So I didn't really want to set up a new brand name with conversivedesign.com, because somebody had to then type in design.com to ensure that they showed up, our website showed up. So after a bit of tinkering, I came to a realization that I could use conversive, but with a Z instead of an S. So conversive, now, which kind of spells somewhat similar and has a similar annotation or connotation, and it still works because it's a short name and it's easy to pronounce, conversive, and I can create a brand out of it. So I did register conversive as well, conversive.com as well. So I have both these domains. And the way I showed you, the way I stumbled upon it was because of this website. So it showed me a domain here called conversivedesign.com, which was deleted yesterday. And I found that name and I registered it. And by that, I came to conversive.com and I registered that as well. So those are the kind of steps I took to get to conversive. And the next step was to obviously check for social names. So you could come to this website called Name Checker, and you can put in the word conversive and do some kind of search and check whether you have a handle available for those networks, for example, Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit, for example, and YouTube. So what you can do next is, once you've registered your domain name, you can next register all those handles against that name, because you want to claim that name as soon as possible, because there are people who also look for domains which have been recently registered. So they will go out and start registering or taking these names, and will then message you and say, would you like to buy this name from us or this handle from us? So try to do this as soon as possible, because there's a business out there which is lurking to check what new domains have been registered. So that was my journey to register a domain and to find a name which kind of resonated with what I'm doing or planning to do. So yeah, just play with it. There's no right or wrong answer here. You just have to ensure that you're experimenting with different things, and as long as you stumble upon a name which you like, then you can register it. Now you know how to find a name that sounds great, fits your brand, and has a real .com to go with it. In the next video, I'll walk you through how to properly connect your domain using Cloudflare, so your site loads faster, stays secure, and is easy to manage. So hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss it. Got any questions about naming or domains? Drop in the comments below. I'm here to help. See you in the next video.